Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, here I am. I want to review about the magazine and newspaper. Firstly, I want to review about the magazine. The magazine that I take here is That Life magazine. From this magazine, I will take one of the readings entitled A Morderer in the Family. This is one of the topics in the magazine, which is the big title in this magazine and one of the most shocking. This article is about someone unsuspected who is considered to be a closest person. Even the family has done something very surprising, namely the killer. In this article not only mentions one story, but there are several stories. The first story is a pair of lovers who love each other, named Lara Busby and Ben Feld. Lara thought Ben was a caring person until one day Lara got word that Ben was arrested by the police. Lara could not believe it because Ben had convinced her that they didn't have enough evidence to arrest Ben. Finally, Lara had felt cheated by Ben. Ben is proven to have killed a man named Peter and made the killing as if a suicide or accident by binding food and medicine, also leaving a whiskey bottle at the scene. At that moment, Lara felt that she had brought a monster into her life. The second story is about a mother named Marcia who killed her own husband, Howard. At first, Marcia told their son, Jonathan Ewing, that Dad had left us. Marcia is a stepmother from Jonathan. Jonathan was visiting his father's house. He broke into the window of the Marcia's office and found a foul-smelling box. When he asked his stepmother said, "It's part of your father's body and the other part is in the basement." Jonathan really didn't think that his stepmother would do such a thing. Then Marcia asked Jonathan to call the police and said that Marcia had killed his father. It is known that Marcia shot Howard because of his impulse when being rude, and Marcia was sentenced to life. Finally, a story from the Ralph Gray family. His mother, Merle Palmer, had remarried a man named Cliff Palmer. His stepfather, in 1983, after his mother became a widow, until Cliff's death in 2002, he had been a father figure who was loved by his children. But one day, the Merle children found Cliff's prison disposal papers on his mother's belongings. In 2018, Ralph learned that his stepfather's real name was Clifford Bartholomew, a mass murderer of the worst family in Australia in 1971. He had killed his wife, seven children, and sister-in-law. Trapp could not believe the person he loved was a murderer in his past. Okay. The important point Morderer committed by unsuspected loved one, about a lover who turned out to be a murderer, a stepmother who killed her husband, and a stepfather who turned out to be a mass murderer of the worst family in Australia in this part. In my opinion, this is a sadistic story. Even the closest people, sometimes we don't know the character more closely. So there may be something like this happening. Therefore, sharing with one another, sharing and caring and opens with each other make us understand those closest to us, especially family, because this usually happens when he feels psychologically and physically distressed. So he no longer knows how to express these feelings and cannot hold emotions. Opens sharing and caring with each other can be one of the better understand and care for the people closest to us. And the next is I want to review about the newspaper. The newspaper that I took here is Financial Times. In this newspaper, there are several news columns. One news that, in my opinion, headlines here is Chinese and US scientists join forces in the hunt of the COVID origin. This article explains about doctors from China and US who collaborated in examining the origin of the emergence of the COVID-19 virus, which until now has not yet found the truth. Ian Lipkin, director of the Center of the Infection and at the Malayan Community School of Health at Columbia University, said that he could collaborate with Chinese researchers to find out whether coronavirus appeared in other parts of China before being discovered in Wuhan. Lu Jiahai, a professor at Sun Yat-sen University's School of Public Health in Guangzhou and partner of Professor Lipkin in China, told the FT that China's CDC had helped him deal with hospitals and local CDCs throughout the country. The research began in February and may be completed by the end of this year. Beijing and Washington have exchanged accusations about the origin of coronavirus, which according to WHO is likely to emerge from bats. Because the origin of the animals is unknown, the risk of reintroduction to areas that were previously infected must always be considered. Therefore, now US and Chinese scientists are working with WHO to gather research in support of vaccine development. Okay, from the reviewing, the important point is collaboration between US and Chinese scientists with WHO to find out the origin of COVID-19 and create the vaccine. From this reviewing, in my opinion, what is done by scientists from the US and China who work with WHO is very good. COVID-19 is now worldwide, so it is necessary to quickly find a vaccine to ward off and treat people who have been infected. And also, the development of the virus wasn't whispered and unsettling many people. Okay, maybe that's all for me, my reviewing about the magazine and newspaper. If I have wrong, I hope to you all pardon me please. And the last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.